The following video comes from Donna Ayers, who can't help but feel that something is haunting her. According to Donna, there have been strange happenings inside her home that neither she nor her family could explain. In 2009, Donna's brother had passed away due to unknown reasons. But ever since his death, Donna has been feeling very scared. Objects inside her house move by themselves, which seems to happen whenever Donna is present. While some believe that her brother's ghost is responsible for the unusual activity, as it might be a sign of him reaching out to her, Donna believes that something else is inside her home, something very malicious. One night, while being home alone, Donna sees the following and begins to record. This is what she captured.
It's not me, is it, with the camera? Come on, guys, I'm just going to get a better view because this is amazing. I'm just going to turn the light up a bit as well. If that's you, please move it again. That is moving. Oh my god, that is moving. Oh, thank you.
Strangely, the chandelier moves on its own. It gently sways back and forth before the video comes to an end. Like with most occurrences seen by Donna, this one has left her spooked. But this wouldn't be the only occurrence caught on camera, as something way more creepy is captured. This next video was taken inside an old restaurant that is currently being renovated. The person recording this doesn't say where exactly this footage was taken, and for good reason. Aside from privacy, this place isn't safe to be in. It's not just the construction that makes it unsafe, but rather something else. For just an idea of why that is, the owners of the restaurant are deeply afraid of the strange things that have happened here. Now, the person recording this is someone who I featured in a previous video. They too have been experiencing strange happenings and believe that it won't stop unless they move out from home. Given their experience with this unusual phenomenon, they were invited to see this restaurant before it's completely demolished. Although expecting to see something unusual, nothing happens. That is, until much later when they head over to the back of the restaurant. What happens then is terrifying to say the least. This is what they caught.
Oh, it's cold right here. Let's do that away. Hello? I'm not going up there. Definitely not going back there. Oh wow, it is really cold right here. What was that? No. I don't think it's happy we're here. I don't know. Oh, holy. Dude, there's...
Initially, a strange shadow can be seen peeking from a corner. The man, whose name is Win, doesn't notice it until much later, after feeling a sudden drop in temperature. The room suddenly becomes cold when out of nowhere, the small figure is seen by Win. Upon seeing this, he quickly hides away as if frightened by whatever this was. But as if things couldn't get any creepier, the mysterious shadow disappears. Feeling extremely unsettled, Win walks out as fast as possible and ends the video there. If the reason for demolishing the restaurant is to get rid of whatever this was, then maybe it's best to completely relocate from this place. But until further info is given to clarify this incident, it seems that we won't know for sure as to who or even what was inside this restaurant. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads in the future. That being said, until next time, peace. In the following video, a man is alone at home when he realizes that the lights in his basement won't turn on. Feeling a bit scared, he walks down into the cellar with caution. According to him, it's not the darkness that scares him, but the basement itself. From time to time, noises such as footsteps or the sound of someone walking back and forth can be heard coming from inside. This often happens when no one else is at home. Now, the man had this experience previously, but it was at his job. He works as a grave digger, and oftentimes, after placing a coffin inside a freshly dug grave, he would feel as though someone else was there with him. Although unable to explain this unusual sensation, it would be the following incident that leaves him extremely baffled. The man checks the basement to see why the lights aren't turning on, but he checks carefully because, as he states, he just heard the sound of footsteps walking about as though someone is down there. Be sure to pay close attention, as what was captured wasn't noticed until looking closely. This is what was caught.
At the moment, in the basement, I swear I keep hearing someone walk. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of creepy. Laundry room still has power, so that's good. But the rest of the basement's power is completely out, which is very strange. I'm not sure what that noise was, but I don't know. I'm home alone right now, so we'll see, I guess. Look out back. No, nothing back there. I don't know. There's been a lot of strange things happening.
Now, it happens real fast, but in case you missed it, if you look closely as the man pans the camera to the bathroom, you can see what appears to be a strange, shadow-like figure standing completely still inside a bathtub. It doesn't appear to be moving at all, as if who, or whatever this was, had been entirely stiff. Even creepier is that when the man returns to the bathroom, the figure is no longer there. Given its strange appearance and sudden disappearance, the man thinks that something supernatural was captured. But as always, I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusions. Could it be that someone had broken in and quickly hid away from the man? Or might this be something completely different? On August 23rd of 2023, George Cruz and his wife had just finished making dinner and were heading towards the living room to eat their meal. The couple sit close to each other while watching their favorite TV program. As minutes pass, it appears that nothing strange is happening in this footage. But fast forward to just a few more seconds, and something happens that scares the living daylights out of the couple. Prior to this incident, George and his wife had been experiencing strange occurrences inside their house. Before having to document any of these occurrences, they would often wake up in the dead of night and hear faint whispering coming from somewhere inside the house. But creepiest of all is when the couple would see household items move on their own. Over time, the activity has become so intense that the couple has asked for help from those who specialize in the paranormal. It was recommended that they set up cameras around their home to capture evidence of the so-called paranormal activity, so the couple act accordingly. Weirdly enough, they were also told to get rid of a certain item inside their house. George and his wife own an old rocking chair, and apparently this chair is the source behind all the activity. So the couple does exactly that by selling it. And surprisingly, a buyer has taken an interest in purchasing the chair. The couple holds onto the chair until the buyer comes over to pick it up sometime next week. But in the meantime, something very strange is captured on their cameras. No one is home when this is captured. Eerily, the chair begins to rock back and forth before somehow other objects inside the house move on their own. Although terrified by what was captured, the couple is glad they had caught this. They can now show this video to those who've doubted their claims. However, this wouldn't be the only footage they'd be showing, because as of recent, more activity has been caught on camera. Not long after this video, the following incident was captured. Take a look. Now, moments before an object falls down, the camera pans over to the shelf as though sensing movement in that area. What's weird about this though is that it sensed it before the DVD case had fallen on its own. Now, one could say that the camera picked up movement from the TV, but if that were so, then the camera would have already moved earlier, given that there were things moving on the screen way before the camera had moved. It seems like this was a random occurrence, unless it was sensing something else. The couple continued to document these strange occurrences in the hopes that someone could explain what's happening. Ultimately, their goal is to stop the activity. But until then, it seems they'll continue to share more footage of this unusual situation. This next video was recorded by a security camera inside an apartment complex. Not much is known about this video, except that it came from this residential building where the little girl and her family reside. The video starts off with footage of the young girl playing by a staircase. Below the stairs is what appears to be a small room. The little girl can be seen staring at something inside the room, but nothing noticeable can be seen on footage. Or at least, that's what the child's parents initially thought. It was only after watching this video multiple times that the parents were left horrified. Something was actually captured inside this room. Take a look. It now becomes clear as to why the little girl seemed hesitant to go inside. A disembodied hand can be seen beckoning to the girl. It almost seems to come out of nowhere before disappearing into thin air. Even the cat who later joins the girl seems unsure about going inside. Whatever this might have been was concerning enough to make them reluctant about entering the space. This mysterious footage, like most videos, has yet to be solved. But until then, you be the judge on what was captured inside this room. The following video, a man is woken up after hearing strange noises inside his apartment. The man lives alone, so he finds it alarming to hear what sounds like an intruder inside his home. He quickly grabs his phone and begins to record. Strangely, the sound of footsteps can be heard coming from above, as though someone is in the attic. Now, the man in this video is known as Nick Long, and it wasn't until the next morning that he decided to leave from the safety of his room to investigate the attic space. He treads carefully as to avoid any physical confrontations. As Nick looks around and checks every corner, he sees that no one is there. Not even traces of a person, such as footprints, can be found anywhere. This was definitely strange. But Nick doesn't really think much of it, since plenty of other strange things have happened before inside his apartment. Though, it would be a few nights later when the strangest encounter happens. Nick is once again woken up by strange noises from his attic. Only this time, he decides to check it out as it happens. Needless to say, what's captured here is pretty spooky. Watch.
Yes, I've been hearing weird noises and shit. And this door has been like opening and closing.
The door to the attic somehow opens on its own as soon as Nick approaches it. Feeling spooked, Nick is completely unsettled by this incident. It's now apparent that something strange is going on. But as if things couldn't get any more creepy, the following night, Nick is recording his dog when he captures this.
What was that? What was that? Yo.
Nick's dog immediately goes in high alert. His dog is sensing something that doesn't appear to be there. It's as though he senses something dangerous. With all that's happened before, Nick believes that something isn't right with his apartment. He believes it might be haunted and thinks that the attic might have something to do with this. Whether ghost or not, he's deeply unsettled by these incidents. Despite living somewhere else now, he can't seem to forget the strange events that have happened there. So then, just what exactly was going on inside Nick's apartment? Like most videos, this one remains a mystery. The following video was submitted to me by someone who has no idea where the video came from. Its original source is unknown, but despite its mysterious origins, the clip is sufficiently creepy on its own. The video seems to have come from a CCTV camera that was placed in front of a driveway. Everything appears to be normal, until you notice the two strangers that are standing outside the owner's home. They come into view as the owner beams them with the car headlights, presumably as an attempt to scare them off. This, however, doesn't work. They're still there, while eerily standing still. It is at this point, though, where things get really creepy. Watch. In utter disbelief, the property owner sees the two strangers disappear without a trace. Clearly, there had been two individuals standing outside, but somehow, they vanish as soon as the lights are flashed again. Now, how exactly this happened is something viewers can't seem to explain, and with little info on this clip, the video becomes even more mysterious. If two strangers were seen on camera, then how is it possible that they suddenly disappeared? It's late at night when a girl named Pershka records a video in her kitchen. The purpose of the video is to show an ice machine that she recently purchased, as there's something about it that creeps her out. The ice maker, according to her, makes a very strange noise during the late hours of the night. So one night, as the ice machine makes its unusual noise, Pershka heads over to the kitchen to record the sound. But as she records this video, something pretty creepy is caught on camera. What was supposed to be a short, random video turned out to be a terrifying clip that Pershka has recently taken down for unknown reasons. She didn't say why she took down the clip, but it seems that the video itself says it all. Have a look. Like a scene out of a horror movie, Pershka walks into the kitchen and captures for just a split second the figure of a little girl. Even creepier is that whoever this was just disappears as soon as the lights turn on. It's for this reason that viewers believe she had taken down the clip, as otherwise it would continue to remind her of this disturbing incident. Whatever was captured has left her extremely unsettled. Even though this video was taken a few years ago, it is still unknown as to whether or not Pershka had captured something paranormal on camera.
Hello? Sleep, goat, horse, dog, pig, snake. Gay, sheep, goat, horse, dog, pig, snake, bird, hermaphrodite. Oh man, this is... Dude, I think I hear somebody. I think I hear something.
Naturally, as anyone would, the motorcyclist leaves the property at once, feeling totally spooked. Most viewers believe that whatever was thrown had to be done by a poltergeist or something paranormal, as the general atmosphere of the place seems to suggest this. Then again, a few believe that it could have been a homeless individual who was using the house for shelter. Whatever the case might be, there's no doubting that the encounter itself is pretty scary. It isn't known if the motorcyclist will be coming back to explore this place further, but given what occurred, it seems highly unlikely that he would. As always, what are your thoughts on this? Is the house inhabited by a supernatural force, or is something else inside? Feel free to share what you think down below. The motorcyclist is cruising on a hill when he finds an abandoned house sitting on top. He proceeds to check out the place, feeling a bit scared, as he can't help but feel an ominous vibe surrounding the property. Little does he know that something utterly horrifying would occur while exploring this place. This is what he caught.
Dude, this is f***ing terrifying. Oh my god, look at the size of this bedroom. Holy shit, this is scary. Dude, this is how horror movies start. Oh my god, it's so dark in these rooms. Dude. Oh, fucking heebie-jeebies, dude. Dude, that dark room. I kept feeling something was gonna jump out at me. What's down here?
Fernando Victor works at a train station. What he does there specifically is unknown, but regardless of his task, he always seems to have late night shifts. However, it was during a late night shift when Fernando captures something terrifying on camera. Fernando and two other workers are walking beside a train that isn't in operation, when all of a sudden, he captures this without even noticing. Someone, or something, appears to be looking at Fernando as he records them. What do you think this might have been? Viewers believe that this may have been the ghost of someone who was involved in a railroad accident. Now, it could be that this was actually a person, but if it were, then how come this supposed person looks so creepy? I don't know, but whoever this is looks too dead to be alive. Whoever, or whatever this is, remains a mystery. There's a podcast on YouTube by the name of Twisted Chamber, whose hosts consist of two people, Natasha and Kat. A few years ago, they received a strange video from a friend of theirs, who still, to this day, has no idea as to what was captured in it. They were deeply unsettled by the footage, and are looking for answers to explain what was captured. The story goes that the friend was visiting her sick daughter at the hospital late at night, when out of nowhere, something downright creepy is caught in the background. They were sure that nobody else was around, as they were the only ones on this floor. Needless to say, the video is pretty creepy. This is what they caught.
Hello. Very gorgeous.
It is only after a couple of seconds that we see a shadow-like figure zoom by. The speed at which they travel seems to be extremely fast, which makes it seem very uncanny. But, even more strange is that the figure doesn't appear to be running, but rather standing completely straight while moving at a speed beyond human capacity. The friend who caught this doubts that it was one of the nurses, or anyone else in general, as they are totally certain that she and her daughter had the floor to themselves. So then, if no one else had been on the floor, who or what was this? There has yet to be a clear answer to this question, but like with most videos, it seems that we won't know for sure until more evidence is given. A woman is alone at home when her dogs all of a sudden start acting strange. It was only after looking back at her footage that she realized the reason as to why they were acting odd. Doubtless, the footage has left her disturbed. Now, before showing the video, it's worth noting that the person in this clip has been featured in a previous video before. Laura Combs has been documenting strange activity in her house, and it was just recently that she caught something that has left her even more baffled than before. The following is her video.
Someone out there will. What the hell?
Strangely enough, around the same time her dogs start to act up, a mysterious figure appears in her backyard. However, there is something very odd about this figure. It moves in such a way that seems to suggest it's something other than a human. Laura believes that it might be a supernatural entity, considering all that's happened in her home and the strange behavior exhibited by her dogs. Now, viewers also agree, but it's not certain if that's the case. Given what's happened, could it be that Laura's dogs were sensing a supernatural presence, which happened to be outside? Or might there be another explanation for this odd occurrence? Feel free to let me know what you think down below. A family takes a trip to a theme park and encounters something pretty terrifying. On June 2nd of 2022, Noor Ifrina Rosni had joined her husband and son at a Malaysian theme park located in the state of Johor. During the time she was there, Rosni recorded every moment of the trip. The camera's attention was mainly focused on Mohammed, her son. Not much else stands out in the video except her child. That is, until later in the trip, when Mohammed is seen on a ride without his parents. It's this video in particular that has left viewers unsettled. I'll play the clip first before showing what exactly was captured. That being said, see if you can spot anything unusual about the video. Now, in case you missed it, if you pay close attention to the passenger next to Mohammed, you'll notice that as soon as the cart spins around the coaster and comes back to the camera, the passenger is no longer there. The child that was right next to him disappears. Mohammed's mother immediately noticed the missing boy after the second spin. Now, as some viewers have commented, it could be that the child had hid below the seat when the cart was out of sight. But if we pause the video at a certain point, we can see from a certain angle that no one was hiding underneath. To make things even more creepy, when Mohammed's mother asked him about the boy he was riding with, he seemed to ignore the question, as if he didn't know what she was talking about. If he didn't know that someone else was riding with him, then what exactly was caught on camera? Could it be that something paranormal was caught? Or was something else captured? Unless more information comes to hand, this video remains a mystery. General Shim is resting on his rooftop when he sees something that scared the living hell out of him. General Shim writes, "I just wanted to loiter on my house's rooftop because the breeze there is soothing and fresh, but little did I know that someone else would be there with me." This is what he saw. General Shim hopes that this was just a coconut on a tree. But what do you see? Could this be a case of pareidolia, or an actual sinister-looking entity?